Hey, welcome back. It's late at night and I've been doing some research and I came across a guy named ALLAN. I'm not sure if you're familiar with ALLAN. Now, I've been calling for people to buyers to wait. I think we're going to see maybe a 10 to 20% correction in the Arizona, Phoenix metropolitan area. But what I came across here is a 13-year-old video. It's done in 240p, so this guy, ALLAN, has been doing these videos for the past 13, 14 years. And I went back to one of his earliest videos from 2009. And this is actually astonishing, and I wanted to share it with you. It is a good time to buy if you can make the numbers work, the affordability factor. So I do think, I'm still sticking with, I think we're going to see a correction, but I don't think we're going to see a crash. But this is very interesting, and if you want to follow ALLAN on YouTube, check it out.
How do prices move? Here we have a price graph. From 1982 through 1990, prices went up in California. When the foreclosures ran out and there was demand, we had this increased employment during Ronald Reagan, and prices went up in California. Then as foreclosures increased, they went down as we had the savings loan scandals followed by the aerospace trust, and foreclosures had downward pressure on real estate and prices fell. And then as the foreclosures were sold off by the banks from 95 through 98 here in California, prices remained flat. Then when foreclosures ran out in 97, 98, prices started to go up very slowly, and then they built up steam and they went up and they peaked. From 87 through 90 and from 2004 to 2006, foreclosures were increasing around the United States, but people weren't paying attention to that we were approaching a peak. But California real estate went up 8 years, from 82 through 90 without a correction, and then 98 through 2006 it went up again, also without any major corrections. It went up steadily for 8 years. Then here in 2009, we've had the first wave of subprime loans have pushed down prices nationwide by an average of 30%. In Southern California, they've fallen 45% because of Riverside and San Bernardino. And experts are saying we have another 30% to fall over the next 2.5 years, 2009, 10, and 11. And sometime in 12 or 13, we will hit a bottom. Then real estate will not go back up, because when the banks own foreclosures, what they do is they sell them off very slowly. If they sell them off quickly, they push prices down and more people abandon their homes. So that would create a bigger problem for them. So what they do is they sell them off very, very slowly. So supply equals demand and prices remain stable. Finally, when they run out of foreclosures, the middle of next decade, then after that, prices will jump up dramatically. And so this is the law of supply and demand and the effect of foreclosures on home prices. What happens is when there aren't any foreclosures, prices go up. When foreclosures are increasing, prices are falling. Then when foreclosures are decreasing, that is, banks are selling off the inventory of foreclosures, then prices remain flat. Then when foreclosures run out, prices go up. When foreclosures are increasing, like they are in 2009, 10, and 11, prices must fall because individuals, they want to save their credit. So if they lose their job and they're losing their home, they want to save their credit and their equity, so they sell at a loss. That pushes prices down. Then you get a stable time, sometime 2013 through 16. Prices should remain very, very stable. That's the accumulate phase, and during that time you should be accumulating real estate. And if you wait closer to 2016, 14, 15, and 16, then you will see that as the scare is over, banks will ease up the requirements and it will be easier to get back into real estate. Then prices should go up, and sometime around 2020, 2022, we should have some form of correction again. And then I expect prices in the decade of 2020 to still go up, to still double in price due to a strengthening economy. And this is the effect of foreclosures on price movement by ALLAN. And you can see this in other graphs at akp.myindex.com. There's no E in index. And another thing to notice is that in 1990, homes in Redondo Beach were around 450,000 on the low end. And I noticed that prices here are, when they go below that previous price peak of 450,000, they tend to sell very, very quickly. So my price target in Redondo Beach is $450,000. The previous price peak here in 1990 for homes in Los Angeles was around 150,000, and I expect property values to fall down to around 150,000 in central LA. And those are my price targets for the accumulation phase. And that accumulation phase is 2013 through 2016. This has been your host, Alan Kendall. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Okay, here are some reasons why not to sell your real estate in 2022. The first one is that we are still in the 5 years after the foreclosures ran dry. So we see that we had an 11-year recession in construction as they sold off foreclosure sales. In 2017, that ran dry. So 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22, builders are scurrying to hire back employees to build property because the 500,000 foreclosure sales per year that doesn't exist anymore. So something has to fill that demand, and that's building, new building. So during those 5 years, we see that in the 1970s, when they ran out of foreclosures in 75, we saw that that from 76 through 81, we had this tremendous unemployment, and real estate just kept going up because we were so underbuilt. Also in the dot-com bubble in 97, we had the foreclosures dry up, and then you had, in the next 5 years, we were so underbuilt that even during the dot-com bubble in April of 2000 through March of 2002, for 36 months, we had increased unemployment, and real estate kept going up. Also, we're at 50-year lows in rates and in percent home ownership. And in the past peaks, we've had all-time highs in percent home ownership. So we're nowhere near a top in 2022. The construction cycle, also, we go from underbuilt, overbuilt, underbuilt, overbuilt, underbuilt. And since we had 11 years of depressed construction, it typically takes a similar amount of years to get overbuilt. And the construction cycle is approximating that around 2028 we'll have our next peak. And we're only 2 years, if we look at the average home price in America, we've gone into this last phase here where prices are accelerating more than they have in the past. And this last acceleration phase typically lasts 5 to 10 years. So if you only sell, after 2 years, you're selling way too soon. I remember selling 5 rental properties in 2002 and 2003, and that was way too soon. Right after I sold them, they doubled in price. Well, we know that we're in an inflationary.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to go over your numbers, your debt to income ratio, and what you can do to prepare for this, I think it's a little dip. It's a short dip that we're going to have with inventory coming to market. But I still think what he says here is true, that we are short on supply and we're underbuilt. And you could, if you got in about 10 or 20% lower than what people are asking right now, to kind of safeguard yourself, I think that you could see a huge return in the next 4 to 5 years, which Dave Ramsey did say right now is the best time to buy. And it might be a great time to sell because Alan says there's going to be a dip. And this was 13 years ago. That was crazy. Hey, enjoy the video, guys. Thanks.